Hi guys, in this video, I want to talk a little bit more about writing. It is a rabbit hole that I found myself in as I have been trying to find writing resources for my kids for different reasons, specifically the classical style of writing, but for different reasons. For my younger ones is because after doing research, I recognized that if they were to use a more structured style of writing, I think that they would really benefit from something like that. And I have been looking into IEW on and off, but I have been trying to find other resources as well. And for my eldest, well, she has been using that classical style writing because we found Writing Rhetoric a couple of years ago. Now, two things. First, I really wish that their grading system was a little bit different because if you read Kathy Duffy's review, even she suggested that it can be used at higher grades. And if college, looking at college and stuff wasn't a thing, then maybe I would feel comfortable doing that. Not comfortable, I would just continue with it if that wasn't a route that we was looking to go down. But because of that, I now have concerns of continuing with the writing rhetoric in high school. And that leads me to my second point, where I really wish that we had discovered that a lot earlier for her because she does so well with it. I wish that we had found it earlier. Now, a comparison to the writing rhetoric, I think, is this classical composition. Now, this is not new. I've seen this on YouTube before by Memoria Press, because similar to writing rhetoric, it takes the different, and I'm learning all of this as I'm doing all of this research. So if I'm wrong in any way, please correct me. I wouldn't feel anyhow. So it takes the different stages of the Progym style or that classical style of writing, and it looks at each exercise in that Progym system and it really breaks it down for them, right? There's a whole book dedicated to going through whether it's fables, narration, prayer, whatever it is. And it really, drills through exercises so that they really understand that exercise within the Progym system. As I said, if we had found writing rhetoric earlier on, she would have probably continued on with that and then move on to something else, some other style of writing or some other, writing curriculum afterwards. Because that's not the case, and we are, we're approaching 8th grade. Well, not approaching, sorry, she's in 8th grade, getting ready to enter into high school, God spare the end of this year. It then led me into looking to find other resources that probably combined the Progym system of writing in one book so that she could at least get an overall view of writing in that classical style, and then either have that as a resource that she can kind of refer back to and then, try out other writing styles. So in trying to find resources that combine the entire Progym system in one of the resources I found is this classical rhetoric through structure and style. This is by IEW. This is actually recommended for 9th to 12th grade in their structure and in their system or how they recommend their books. I think I showed it in the other video. This is actually recommended for 11th or 12th grade. So it is for more advanced students, but she would be able to do this. I'm considering doing this as, maybe an elective and adding something for like a half credit after she finishes the 8th grade. Not sure. I may have her do it in the 9th grade. I'm not 100% sure. But what this does is that it combines all of the exercises within Progymnasmata or Progymnasmata, however you like to say it, and it combines it in one book. Now, this book doesn't teach the Progym system. It's assuming that they understand the Progym system and they just have, different activities, or that they go through in using this book. But I went through this book a little bit more in another video and I'll link it above, right? So that's one book that combines the entire Progym system. Then I also found this series by Eileen Cunningham. She has the Classical Quills 1 and 2. And then she has the Writing the Classical Way 1, 2, and 3. Now, I do want to point out that this is independently published, right? So please take note of that. But you can read about her on her Amazon page. Now her classical quills 1 and 2 are recommended for 5th and 6th graders, and that is the ones, these two are the ones that I would probably be more interested in, and I'll talk a little bit more about that just now. And then her writing, the classical way books 1, 2, and 3 are recommended for 7th, 8th, and then the third book is recommended for 9th or 10th graders. So the first one is ancient, writing the classical way ancient, writing the classical way modern, and then writing the classical way medieval, right? The classical quills 1 and 2, I am a little bit more interested in those because since I do believe that my other two daughters would benefit from a more structured style of writing, these are books that even if it does not form it's not going to be our main writing spine, as especially for my 5th grader as she enters into this not in her 5th grade, but in the 6th and 7th grade God spare, I most likely will use these as supplements for her. All right, so those I would be interested in. So in another video, because I don't want to make this video long, I will do a flip through of Eileen Cunningham's quills book in one video, and then the writing the classical way books in another video. But those books by Eileen Cunningham and this, I found that those go through the Progymnasmata style of writing all combined in one book. Now there are a few other resources that I have seen. Well, I not personally, I haven't actually touched it, but I have been reading about it, whether it's on boards or online, that apparently does the exact same thing. But these two, systems I have found that kind of combines the entire classical writing style in one. This one, my eldest will be doing, and my younger two, I'll be holding on to these either for their curriculum in their next grade, or as supplements for them to practice writing in a more structured writing, a classical writing style, because I think that they will benefit from that. Still looking into IW, but that teacher, I'm not sure about, the teacher course, not because for me it's more so trying to really be honest with myself. If it is, I can commit myself to sitting down and really studying the structure and style system. And I'm not sure if it is learning that structural style, if it will just help me with teaching writing in a classical way, or if it will help me with just teaching them writing, overall. But I'm still looking into it. So anyway, so this video is more so me talking about all of this stuff about writing. If there's anything here that you would like to see a little bit further, especially like the classical composition and the writing rhetoric books, which I do own, and then these classical quills books that I would be holding on to, just leave a comment below and I'll let you know. But anyway, if this video, if you have any questions, sorry to ask, feel free to ask them below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And I will talk to you in another one. Bye.